With the exception of the death of one of the critically injured victims, which occurred the following day, as much of the story as would ever be known was broadcast at 5 o'clock, less than 5 hours after the tragedy had begun.
Eyewitnesses said it was an almost unbelievable sight as 22-year-old Harvey McLeod calmly drove into the parking lot at North Hills today, stepped out of his late model car and opened fire with a newly purchased .22 caliber rifle. One of those who saw the gunfire and saw 3 people killed by it was Mrs. Bill Law.
Between each shot, he would go down between the cars, and the last time he went down, I didn't hear a shot or anything, but he evidently shot himself or somebody shot him, but that was before the police got here.
The 3 people killed by the gunfire included Melvin D. Harrison, Jr. of Newbern, James G. Henry, and Jackie Horton, both of Raleigh. 9 people in all were struck by the gunfire before McLeod turned the weapon on himself and died instantly. Dozens of people looked on in horror today during the bizarre shooting incident at the North Hills Mall. Among them was Warren Baldwin.
I looked out and saw this guy with the rifle, and he looked like he was taking deliberate aim at anybody he could see, and he took his time and aimed well and shot. And then I saw him aiming in that direction towards Penny's at one time. And then he turned around, and with a car coming down this way, he took a shot at that person. And then he looked over in this direction, shot towards Ivis. And then I saw him take the rifle and go in his pocket first, rather, and get some more shells out. And load it up again. And then I saw him turn the rifle around and point it towards his head and had his thumb in the trigger. And I saw him go down like a ton of bricks.
3 of the dead and all of the wounded were taken to Wake Memorial Hospital. Bob Upton has an update report on the condition of the injured.
David E. Waby, age 30, of Raleigh, in surgery still, condition unknown at this time. Terry Sue Henry, age 6, of Cary, suffered general injuries not believed to be serious, but still in the hospital. Wesley Hayden, Senator Jordan's aide, is out of surgery and listed in serious condition. Mrs. Jessie B. West, about 60, a neighbor of Mrs. Ralph Moody at Cameron Court Apartments in Raleigh, is out of surgery and listed in critical condition. Carol Lynn Sutton, age 3, of Cary, North Carolina, is in satisfactory condition. Carol Ann Homovac, age 20, of Raleigh, is in satisfactory condition. Mrs. Ralph Moody, the wife of the Assistant Attorney General, is out of surgery and listed in fair condition. Leroy Honeycutt, a white male of Raleigh, 29 years old, was treated for a graze wound and released from the hospital.
2 of those injured had just shaken hands with the campaigning Senator B. Everett Jordan when the gunfire began. Jordan had just stepped inside the door of the North Hills Mall and was pulled into a nearby store for safekeeping, although he and authorities remain convinced that the gunfire was not an attempt on the senator's life. Raleigh Police Chief Bob Goodwin said the gunman, 22-year-old Harvey Glenn McLeod, was no stranger to local authorities.
First came to the attention of the Raleigh Police Department when he was 14 years old. He's been charged, and that was in 1964. He's been charged with a couple of assault with a deadly weapons, a larceny and a trespassing charge, and a couple of minor traffic violations.
Chief, do you appear to have a motive for being in the shopping center at that time?
None that we're aware of. We don't know why he was there or anything about the circumstances at this time.
Senator Jordan was campaigning there, Chief. Do you have any reason to believe he was shooting at Senator Jordan at this time?
None at all. Senator Jordan's schedule was not announced, and he just showed up to do a little campaigning apparently, and there was no pre-announcement of his being there at that time. And so far as we can tell, the man did not arrive at the same time the senator did, and we do not feel that there's any connection.
McLeod was described as conservatively dressed. He drove into the shopping center parking lot in a late model sedan. His body was found nearby several minutes later. Senator Jordan said the remainder of his campaign schedule depends upon the condition of Wes Hayden, his campaign aide, who was among those injured in the gunfire. Jordan says his stand against strict gun control legislation remains unchanged.
I've said many times, and I'm still of the very much of the opinion that there's no way you can keep firearms of any description out of a hand of criminal. There are supposed to be about 5 million hand pistols in the United States in people's possession. Anybody who wants to kill somebody can certainly get one.
Comment from Senator B. Everett Jordan. In other news, 2 units of North Carolina National Guard are in Concord following a weekend of...
In addition to the news coverage provided throughout the afternoon with constant updates, WPTF provided at no cost to stations across the United States reports on the incident. Nor were those reports limited to the United States of America.
Glenn Roach, 7 o'clock news. 4 people have been shot dead at a political rally in the American city of Raleigh, North Carolina. The shooting, 2 weeks to the day that Governor Wallace was gunned down, was at a rally for Democratic Senator Everett Jordan. This report from Bob Farrington in Raleigh.
The gunfire erupted just as Senator B. Everett Jordan, chairman of the Senate Rules Committee, arrived at the shopping center on an unannounced campaign swing. Authorities say there apparently was no connection between the 2 incidents. A witness described the scene this way.
Between each shot, he would go down between the cars, and the last time he went down, I didn't hear a shot or anything, but he evidently shot himself or somebody shot him, but that was before the police got here.
All told, there are 4 people dead, including the 22-year-old gunman. 9 other people are injured, 2 of them gravely hurt. This is Bob Farrington reporting from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Prime Minister McMahon has revealed he'll fight the federal election on 6 issues. The Prime Minister told the federal
That
Council
report from Sydney, Australia. It was a hard news day. It was a holiday. WPTF News handled it in stride.